ice is never 100% safe. And early in the season, ice is usually clear. As the winter goes on, ice thickness is not the only thing to look at. You need to look for the quality of the ice, which means that the ice, could be white, which is when the snow melts and refreezes, and that's not as strong. There's about, 7 inches there that was pretty easy to break with the chisel. So I would say at least, the top 5 inches of the ice have started to rot. In order to check if the ice is good to go walking or driving on, you need to measure it, and you have to check it for yourself. So don't expect that somebody else who's already out there on the ice checked it. It's important that you always check it for yourself, which means that you need to drill a hole and use a tape measure to see how thick the ice is. And you want 4 inches of new clear ice for walking, and for a pickup truck, we recommend at least 13 inches of ice. So if you're gonna pull a giant wheelhouse for ice fishing behind, a very big, heavy-duty truck, we recommend at least 20 or more inches of ice. But it's important that you know the weight of your equipment. Some of the things to look out for on the ice would be underneath bridges. Ice is often thinner, and in channels where there's a bottleneck. People always ask, how can you know how thick the ice is? And they want an easy answer. They're hoping that maybe there's a formula or a chart that will tell them based on the temperature, here's how thick the ice is. Or, they're hoping that somebody's out here measuring it and can tell them. But really, you need to drill a hole and measure it for yourself. This is, a great example of how the shoreline melts first. Like when people fall through the ice, the main cause of death is going to be drowning, not hypothermia. Good swimmers are much more likely to drown in cold water, and you have that shock and gasp reflex. So any time of the year, but especially in the early season or the late season when the ice is a little bit more concerning, starting to thaw, it's important to have safety gear. That's flotation and ice picks that if you were to fall in, you can pull yourself out. Yeah, a couple days of 40s and sun are not gonna ruin the ice. So if you see somebody fall through the ice, never go onto the ice to try to get them, because that usually will result in 2 victims in the water instead of 1. So never go onto the ice, but call 911, and you can shout to the person, let them know that somebody's coming to help them so that they stay calm. And if you find something to throw to them, a rope, or you can also reach to them with a long branch if you can reach them safely. Jumper cables is another thing that a lot of people have in their vehicle. You want to spend the first minute calming yourself down, then 10 minutes to get out of the water. If you don't get out within 10 minutes, then the recommendation is to just stay still and wait for somebody to come help you. When you're in cold water, you actually will lose heat faster than you can create it. So on land, moving around will help you stay warmer, but in the water, if you're moving around, you'll actually get colder faster. The ice is never 100% safe, but if you do your research and you understand ice safety, then you can take precaution